Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll discuss homelessness prevention and diversion. These two components of the housing crisis response system often appear together because they work to provide assistance earlier in a household's housing crisis. Homelessness prevention strategies represent a wide array of efforts to prevent housing crisis from occurring and to prevent people who face such crisis from experiencing homelessness. Prevention strategies can fall within the following categories. First, activities that reduce the prevalence of risk of housing crisis within communities. Second, activities that reduce the risk of homelessness while households are engaged with or are transitioning from systems. And third, activities that target assistance to prevent housing crises that do occur from escalating further and resulting in homelessness. These activities described above are not the responsibility of homeless service providers alone. Rather, homelessness prevention requires a multi-sector approach and an active focus on reducing the prevalence of housing crisis. In the first category of homelessness prevention, housing crisis can be reduced systematically when multiple sectors focus on big picture goals, including but not limited to ensuring an adequate supply of affordable housing, addressing systemic racial inequities, improving education and meaningful and gainful employment, and ensuring access to affordable childcare, legal assistance, and behavioral health care. You can think of the first category of prevention like addressing the social determinants of health. This means considering all the economic and social conditions that contribute to someone's well-being. In the second category, homelessness can be prevented through enhanced cross-system collaboration, including systems such as healthcare, child welfare, and criminal justice. This collaboration includes increased awareness and attentiveness to housing stability and effective transition and/or discharge planning. In the third category, assistance helps prevent housing crises that do occur from escalating further and resulting in homelessness. In most communities, this assistance is provided through mainstream systems and/or the homeless services system. Services often include a combination of financial assistance, mediation with landlords, legal services, and other supports. Why homelessness prevention? Homelessness prevention is an important piece of the housing crisis response system because it supports households in preserving their current housing situation. It also provides assistance earlier in a household's housing crisis should it occur. Next, let's talk about diversion. Diversion is a strategy and practice that helps people resolve their immediate housing crisis by accessing alternatives to entering emergency shelter or the experience of unsheltered living. It often looks like a series of conversations and problem-solving strategies that begin with listening. There are several principles that guide the diversion process and conversation. First, diversion uses a crisis resolution approach. Homelessness is a crisis for the person experiencing it, and responses should focus on listening and helping them regain control over their situation. Second, diversion centers client choice, respect, and empowerment. This means focusing on the client's goals and preferences and identifying their strengths, past and present. Third, diversion provides the minimum assistance necessary for the shortest time possible. And this is directly tied to the fourth principle, which is maximizing community resources. Diversion serves to assist households in quickly resolving their housing crisis and avoiding prolonged homelessness, so that community resources are prioritized for households most in need of intensive services. Why diversion? Diversion itself is a service. It provides assistance earlier in a household's housing crisis. It can also improve system effectiveness by reducing inflow and expediting outflow. While diversion is attempted with all households, not all will be able to quickly resolve their housing crisis or engage in a diversion conversation. Diversion does not prevent people from accessing services. Households can always access emergency services if they are eligible and would like that referral. Rather, it's important to think of diversion itself as a valuable service that helps people avoid the experience of being in a shelter or unsheltered. Effective diversion involves keen, active listening skills, understanding and access to community based resources, and flexibility. Homelessness is a complex issue, and causes of homelessness can vary from person to person. Together, homelessness prevention and diversion work so that we can intervene the cycle by supporting a household in maintaining or connecting them back to safe and viable housing options. For example, homelessness prevention can intervene the process of facing homelessness when a person is at risk of losing their own place, is experiencing a doubled up situation, or is facing an eviction. In another example, diversion can interrupt the process of facing homelessness when someone is seeking emergency shelter, or when they're in emergency shelter, helping them explore alternate housing arrangements if safe and appropriate. When we integrate effective homelessness prevention and diversion approaches into housing crisis response systems, we provide assistance earlier in a household's housing crisis. We can also help lessen trauma, identify and create new pathways to housing, reduce isolation, preserve scarce housing resources, and empower households to build their housing plans. As a result, we can reduce the prevalence of homelessness, we can reduce the length of episodes of homelessness, and we can reduce trauma. If you would like to learn more about homelessness prevention and diversion or have any questions, you can email Texas Homeless Network at txboscoc@thn.org. Thank you for watching.